Hello again guys, welcome back to another Big Al Devon video, and today we're going to be watching a Muay Thai fight between Matthew Johnson and Thailand Pinsinchai, you see there. Now, what's interesting about this fight is actually I was present in the crowd to watch this fight. I was actually on one of the VIP tables ringside, and the reason for such is Thailand Pinsinchai forced out of the sister gym in Bangkok to the gym that I trained for. They were both owned by the same owner, and so we were invited to go watch him, and I had the honour of actually prior to this also training with Thailand Pinsinchai. He held the pads with me, and with his coach, who was called Pamu, helped train me for the time that they were over here in England. Now, one quick little fun fact that no one else knows, so you won't hear this anywhere else, but the owner of Thailand Pinsinchai's gym actually said that if you win this fight through elbows and get a decision or a knockout through an elbow, I'll get you a brand new iPhone. And this is the time when iPhones were literally a very new thing. So if you're wondering why Thailand has thrown so many elbows in this fight, well, now you know the reason why. And Hawkeye's amongst you may even notice me in the crowd. Who knows? I've looked for myself. I've not been able to find me, but it's a bit like finding Where's Wally, right? But anyway, we're up to round one. The fighting's begun. And as I say, the fighters are Matthew Johnson on the right there and Thailand Pinsinchai on the left. And both fighters are feeling each other's pace here. Thailand Pinsinchai going in with their left elbow, trying to get them in early on. Very much wants that iPhone. But like most Muay Thai fights here, we're seeing quite a slow start to the fight. Both fighters feeling the other's pace, the other person's stance, guard, so on and so forth, looking for weaknesses. See a big right teep there going in from Thailand Pinsinchai to the mid-region. And of course, these kind of attacks, they can end a fight. I mean, if you've ever been kicked or punched in the belly before, you'll understand just how painful mid-strikes can be. They can really take the air out of you and make it harder for you to breathe for the rest of the fight. So getting them in early on can really make things hard for your opponent and actually make things easier for you. As if your opponent's less capable of hurting you back, then of course it makes it easier to win the fight. So we're seeing a lot of big teeps there going in from Thailand Pinsinchai. We see Johnson raising his lead leg a lot and bouncing on it, as we see right now. This is a typical Muay Thai technique. It's to make the other opponent nervous, and it's almost like throwing a feint in boxing. It's to try and draw the guard downwards for perhaps a head strike or something along these lines. We see a very powerful elbow coming up there towards the chin of Johnson, and actually we can see the damage that the elbows have done already. He's just above his right eye. It's already cut and bleeding. He comes in with a big left cross there, but fairly ineffective. He missed Pinsinchai. Now that eye is going to probably cause problems throughout this fight, no doubt whatsoever. If you're bleeding from round one, not only does it... Oh, we see another massive elbow and a knockdown there from Pinsinchai. Right elbow straight to the face of Johnson. Now he's getting the count. He does seem stable, but I just saw him there touching his face. I think he's checking for the blood and for the damage that's done. That will really rattle a fighter, but Johnson's doing well to keep his composure and to come back here straight into Thailand Pinsinchai's face. He tries for a big head kick, but misses. He seems keen to do damage back to Pinsinchai. However, I hope he doesn't open himself up more to Pinsinchai's attacks by trying too hard to do damage in return. Pinsinchai is still very calm and composed, as you can see. He's very relaxed, and I think he's feeling very confident after that first round knockdown. He comes in with a big left cross, again striking at that area which is cut onto the face of Johnson already, opening it up more with that punch that connected. We come to the end of the first round, and that was a major round for Pinsinchai, showing his dominance already, and especially as we know that he is fighting in a limited manner, in the sense that he is purposely going for certain attacks, like the elbow, for example, that can limit your play style, your fight style, so to speak. But it certainly seems to be working. Johnson took a lot of damage there, but however, you know, he himself has kept his composure well. He came back very well from that knockdown. He's taken a lot of damage already, but he's a very, very tough fighter, as he's proving here. Hopefully he'll be able to put more of a show against Pinsinchai in the second round, but obviously that round did go to Pinsinchai quite convincingly, and so we have an opportunity here to see the damage that was inflicted against Johnson in slow motion. We see that first elbow within the first few seconds of the fight going into Johnson there. And now a replay of the second elbow that connected, coming up from underneath in a similar manner to an uppercut. And in a few seconds I've included a replay of the elbow that scored the knockdown for Pinsinchai. You see it here coming in from the right side, striking exactly where that cut on Johnson's eye is. They're vaselining it up, trying to contain it as best as possible. If it continues like this, we may even see a stoppage from that cut. And here is again just another replay of that pivotal moment in that round. You can see just how the legs of Johnson went. So it really is impressive how Johnson managed to compose himself straight after that, especially after considering how much damage that elbow has done to the eye of Johnson. Pinsinchai talking to his coach there, Pamu, fighting, as I say, for WPT Gym. And Johnson here just really getting talked to by his own corner, advising him on how basically to protect that eye and how to come back here and potentially try and obviously get a win for himself. Both fighters touch gloves and round 2 begins. It'll be interesting to see how the intensity of the fight changes as we progress through the rounds. Muay Thai traditionally gets faster and more intense as each round progresses. You can hear this in the very music itself. Traditional Thai fighting music gets faster and more intense as the rounds progress, trying to dictate the pace of the fighters and trying to encourage them to go at it even more so than in previous rounds. We see another big teep going in there. So we see from Thailand Pinsinchai a very similar tactic from the first round, which is good because of course it worked for him. He's creating the distance, but he's grabbed Johnson's leg there and he throws him down to the canvas. So we have a push down there from Pinsinchai, and that's going to affect Johnson's confidence to some degree at throwing that leg again. If he keeps getting caught, he's going to have to either make it faster and snappier. Again, he gets caught again and has his back leg taken. This is what I'm talking about. He has to make that leg return to the stance position much quicker than that, otherwise he's going to get caught every time and it will become a liability more than something that he can use to try and hurt Pinsinchai in return. We see how calm Pinsinchai is. He's watching there, looking for an opening. You can see he's making eye contact with his opponent the whole time, and he comes in with another big strike to the face. That was a left elbow striking at that eye of Johnson with such precision. And that's what makes the elbows dangerous. When you know how to use them correctly, you can be so precise, but at the same time cause so much damage. Johnson goes in with another lazy kick, gets caught and almost receives a major strike there to the head, but manages to recover just in time his defences. Another big teep going into the mid-region of Johnson for Pinsinchai. Johnson gets caught again with another slow back kick from his left leg into Pinsinchai's mid-region. He needs to make that kick much quicker, otherwise soon he will get significantly punished for it. We see him get caught again. Pinsinchai tries to follow through with one of his own kicks. Both fighters seem happy to slow the pace of the fight down here, just feeling for one another. Johnson looks like he's looking for an opening, and he comes in with a massive left cross straight to Pinsinchai's head. That was a very, very good punch. Johnson needs to do more of this, less kicking and more punching in my opinion. Although, of course, the only problem with the punch is it doesn't have as much range as the kick, and he wants to try and keep obviously away from those elbows. So he's stuck really in a catch-22 situation here. Does he close the distance and use his hands, where he does seem a little bit more superior than Pinsinchai, or does he keep risking throwing these poor kicks that Pinsinchai can easily counter? There was a good exchange of teeps between the two of them there, however, both of them getting hurt by each other's attacks. Pinsinchai seems very calm, keeping his hands relatively low actually. I think he's doing that obviously to take the kicks of Johnson, which he holds there for a very long period of time. He could have swept his legs, but you can see he's trying to target the head of Johnson. He's trying to, when he grabs Johnson's leg, close that distance and come in with a significant strike to the head. Now that cut is getting worse and worse. It seems to be opening up more for Johnson's face there. We'll see what happens from here. Now we have a couple of action replays, slow motion replays coming up from the action in that round. There was not as many significant strikes from either fighter, yet Pinsinchai still shows significant domination here of Johnson. We see in this slow replay here the catch of Johnson's back kick. And Pinsinchai using his left leg there to trip his opponent as he throws him to the canvas. It's really interesting to see that in slow motion. You can see just how much technique there is used to throw your opponent down to the ground. There's more technique than brute strength and force. You want to try to conserve as much energy as possible, and that's why you use that trip technique on the back leg, or the leg that's left on the ground. Now we have up and coming another slow motion replay here, and this is a big elbow strike to Johnson's face again. Johnson takes the elbow to the face very well there, but again those elbows will just keep opening that wound on his eye open more and more as the fight progresses, and really Johnson cannot afford for that to happen again. As we saw when he was in his corner, that wound has opened up even more, but this is how Johnson was dangerous himself in that round, coming in with very good left cross there, but really unfazing Pinsinchai. And so round 3 begins. Let's see if we can get a knockout or a stoppage to this fight. Both fighters are going to want to try and achieve something in this round. Johnson needs to go for a knockout, otherwise he will lose this fight, but he gets taken down to the canvas again, in the same way that he's been taken down in the previous round so often. He does return a very powerful left kick there, but he just isn't precise enough or fast enough with his kick. So really, in my opinion, he should keep the kicks lower so that they can't be caught, or he should try something else, like as I say, trying to punch Pinsinchai. But again, he tries the kick again and gets caught once more. However, those punches do seem to be going through. They're not seeming to hurt Pinsinchai, but really, you know, they're better than getting caught and obviously opening yourself up. Johnson going in there with a very big, unwieldy kick, trying to go for the head of Pinsinchai. He seems obviously desperate to go for one of those big strikes, but I don't think his kicks are good enough to do that. But that jab cross combination did hit home and do damage, but he receives a kick in return. It was a beautiful counter kick by Pinsinchai there, doing more damage to Johnson than Johnson was able to do to him. However, those jab cross combinations do seem to be going through the guard of Pinsinchai, and you never know, one punch can end the fight. Can Johnson come back here? But he gets his leg caught again. He's being held. He takes a punch to the face before being let go. And again comes back with a slightly lower kick there to Pinsinchai, which is blocked with typical Thai block. Johnson coming in there with another cross, nearly receives a head kick. However, in return, he needs to keep that guard high when he goes in with an attack. He does seem open to Pinsinchai's counters. Pinsinchai comes in with a massive overhead elbow there, striking at Johnson's vulnerable eye. Pinsinchai finding his range before coming up with an uppercut elbow. Relaxing again, but he's going to come out with another attack here, coming in with a massive left elbow straight to the same vulnerable spot on Johnson there. I believe that may be the end of the fight. We'll have to see. I think the doctors are having to look at Johnson's eye here. Will they stop it? He's taken 3 big strikes to the face there, all in a row, to an already vulnerable area. Will the referee let him continue? No, it is over. The fight is finished because of that cut, and Pinsinchai wins via TKO. Pinsinchai very happy there, smiling into the crowd. That's where we are. He's seeing the iPhone raised by the gym owner, saying he's won it, he's earned it. He's a very happy man. Johnson did fight very bravely there, such a brave and tough fighter. He didn't give in. It was the doctor at the end of the day who ended the fight, and the referee. So fair play to Johnson. What a superb fighter there, very tough. You can see in these action replays some of the damage he's receiving, not only being struck by the elbow to the eye, but being followed up there by a kick to the lower region. And so obviously the referee will have to announce now officially who's won. We all know who's won, Pinsinchai. And what I'll do once all this is done is I will put up at the end of the fight just a compilation of the replays of the most significant moments in that fight for your viewing pleasure. But thanks for watching, guys. I will see you soon. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye bye.